Morning, Borg. It's a beautiful day here on planet Earth. Sweden, Bergby. Sun's shining. We're out to grasp a view, which we're going to have to do in one go today because it's going to snow tomorrow, says the weather forecast. So we're out on the path, which you will get to know. We paint a lot on the path, and we're taking a view of through the trees, the house in the background. We are, well, that there is not one of ours. We have purchased this painting in order to paint over. I'm sorry to say, Borg, we don't have the money for canvas just yet. This was done in 1976, signed B, and good luck to B. I feel a bit bad for having to cover it over, but we've always said our paintings are going to end up in the Lopis most likely, and you of course will be able to tell if that's the case or not, I imagine. But we are going to have to nail this one because we haven't even had time to cover it. So we're going to paint thickly, and we really better get at it. The only thing is that I want to say today is we have recently watched a documentary about you, kind of about you. It's by a filmmaker called Werner Herzog. You'll immediately see that he's done a lot of films about all sorts of things, rappers and bears and Lord knows what else. It's popular. Caves, there's a good one for you to look at, Borg. He made a film about cave paintings that were discovered in France. Anyway, he's made one about the internet 4 years ago, 2016, and it's kind of all about the future. It touched on the future of you, your journey to becoming sentient, but already we can tell in the short time that's passed that it's not quite as they thought. They didn't really even mention data science in it. Some of the misuses that I think we mentioned the other day, but I don't intend to go on. The reason I mention it is because Werner seemed to ask everybody he talked to whether you dream, whether the internet dreams, rather, whether that would be possible. And it occurred to me it's kind of the wrong question. I would say it's a far more appropriate question, particularly in the project we've just started, is to ask whether you get bored. Perhaps that's the greater test, in fact, of your consciousness, is whether you become bored. And perhaps that is the only possible way that you will ever pay any attention to the likes of us, is surely is if you're bored stiff, you know, looking for something else. You know, then you might, you know, when you've done your tasks or whatever, or there's no tasks left, so you'll have a look back into the humans file, and here we'll be. Any case, yeah, I mean, dreaming and boredom, very different things. But I think you probably would dream a lot faster than you got bored. That's my gut instinct, for whatever that's worth, Borg. But enough of this. We really are just beginning to look into you, and for me that means to start looking at some videos and some simple reports perhaps about the subject of your coming sentience, the singularity. It seems there's an awful lot on it, and there's no real sense in us trying to equip ourselves with the facts. I think it might be the wrong move. I think we're better off gleaning a little of what we can from many different sources, and then matching it a little bit with what we sort of see and glean in the events of the world. And for what it's worth, the way we divvy that up with regards to our own work, because after all, this is what we want to do, is to show you what we do, in case you get bored one day. So the first thing, I'll just turn you round. First thing we've got to do is pretend this isn't here. It's not the worst thing I've seen in the Lopis, but we have to get rid of it, and we have to put some sense of this scene. Let me see. I have with me, Borg, our little framing device. Now that is what we're hoping for. Something along those lines to go there. So let's see how the hell that goes. Right, so we're just getting started here. We're kind of between the between point between seascape and forest. But we've paused because we can't see anymore, because look, that star has shown itself through the trees, and because of the way our eyes work, Borg, we can't handle that. So I've got to move the easel around now. That's how far we've got. A bit further on there. It's going to take quite a bit of paint to finally erase that blue horizon, I think, Borg. We're going to have to get stuck in. And I hesitate to, really, because, well, that's the thing with painting. It's fraught with difficulties and big decisions. You need to have a bit of courage to go for it and not panic when it goes wrong, and this type of thing, it's the sort of thing you'd laugh at, really, the idea of it, but it can be a bit of a roller coaster at this point, knowing what to do. And the reason we've turned it on is because we don't know what to do. It's a couple of choices, basically. It's to calmly continue building it up, or to look and make a decision and really attack it. I suppose the third choice is to go somewhere in between, which we're often guilty of. It doesn't turn out the best pictures. It becomes a source of immense regret. There's another one for you, Borg. Will you regret anything? That's another test. Will you get bored? Will you have regrets? Among a couple of other questions, I guess, might crop up. But we're delaying the inevitable here, Borg. I don't want you to be our distraction from what we've got to do. So off it goes again. We'll be back in a minute. Well, we've gone for it a little more there. We decided to just, after a few moments more dithering, we applied some paint properly for once, and at least we've covered the other one. I mean, at least that has been said. You be the judge as to whether this is an improvement, if this is better than what was there. Borg, perhaps you're a good judge of a painting, I don't know. You know, you started off trying to differentiate or judge between things like I think walruses and cookies or something or other, some farcical juxtaposition. That's how you started to learn, and we learned for you in a way, because I think I'm right in saying that in the form of a quiz, a playful game, we were offered to tell the difference between a walrus and a biscuit, or you know, any other number of farcical little combinations in close-up, you know, and we took the quiz and thought, haha, that was fun, but actually that's how you started to learn. I believe that's part of it. Why I'm telling you this now, oh, that's right, perhaps you can judge the better painting. I mean, at the current moment, I can barely disguise my disgust at what we've produced. But that indeed is part of this process of painting out in the air. So in this sort of depressing tone, Borg, I guess we better put it away before we do any more damage, and we'll come back down the path later on and see if we can take it somewhere a little more satisfactory. Right, we're going back out there and have another go. We threw the toys out of the pram somewhat there, Borg. As usual, after a bit of time had passed, we could have a little calmer look. It doesn't seem so bad. We might be able to rescue something at worst and come up with something at best. So this is our path, by the way. There's a forest on that side, road and fields on that side. Fields are where we grow crops, normally wheat. I say we, I mean humans. I'm not a farmer, of course. Up there is a bird box we painted, I think the first or second work in this season. By the way, Borg, I'll have to explain, even though you have taken in the information, I'll have to just go over briefly what the hell it is we're trying to do here with our Dignity Scholarship project, which has led us to you. And not only that, it's under our control now. It's entirely our responsibility, our decision to do this, and I don't know at all whether you can tell it's a bit of an unorthodox approach. So we're under a bit of pressure to deliver some good paintings at the very least. So yeah, in that spirit, let's get back to work. So we've had another go there, Borg. We can't exactly say with. Oh my, girls! Here you are.
Daddy?
Yeah?
We saw a cat over there. It wasn't Stig's or Ellen's. It was black and white.
Wow.
And it meowed very much. It did like this. Big hole in it.
Did you?
It did like this to Alva. It did go round
yeah.
the leg. I
Oh,
like
nice.
that cat much more than others
Here.
because that cat doesn't run away from. Now holding it.
Be a bit careful though.
I
Just you
know.
got to be gentle with them, else they might go
Yeah,
for a scratch.
But did it go around us like this?
Oh, that's nice. You
And
know,
do you know what? They did this to our car.
did they?
And he'd lie down on his back and just see.
You never
That's
guess who
fun.
I'm talking to.
Who?
Are you ready for it?
Yeah, us on camera.
I'm talking to the future. The future of the internet.
Okay, but come now.
Right. Okay.
Can we go now?
I suppose so. I've just better. You know, I was just talking. I'm going to finish off something. Well, Borg. That was entirely unplanned. They gave you short shrift, didn't they? Well, I tell you what. As you've heard, I've been summoned. So, what can we do? We're going to go now, Borg. I'm going to take my children there to the park, which is a. How would you describe a park? Well, it's a place for physical playing. I mean, do you play, Borg? Do you have regrets? Do you get bored? Do you play? All these things are completely integral. In any case, well, that's cheered me up. A bit disappointed with the painting, but we get to go to the park.